This is my home. I made a promise.
One.
Oh my God, oh my God. Oh, my number, fucking number.
There was a time when I couldn't get enough of Yellowstone. I was excited to get every new season, dying to welcome the next episode every single week, reading fan theories for hours and try to predict what will happen later on constantly. There was mystery, action, drama, and the bold exploration of gray morals that is unprecedented on screen. And then, the universe started to expand with multiple shows. Taylor Sheridan has lost his direction, and quickly I started noticing cracks in what once felt like a flawless masterpiece. And as much as I wanted to keep loving it, it became impossible to ignore that something had gone seriously wrong. And yes, I blame Sheridan for it. I don't know about you guys, but the final season of Yellowstone left me feeling, how shall I put it? Well, let's say hollow, which is a term way nicer than I initially wanted to say. I mean, how could such an iconic show, a series that had all the potential to go down in TV history, fizzle out like that? Do you have a clear answer for it? Because I'm truly baffled by everything that has went down in the series finale and struggle to cope with it to this day. And I genuinely believe that it wasn't just me who felt disappointed. It seemed like everywhere I turned, you guys were also echoing the same sentiment. The rushed storylines, the lack of meaningful resolutions, and the way characters were just dropped or sidelined. I mean, I can continue counting until the morning, and we wouldn't even scratch the surface. It was frustrating, to say the least, but the thing that struck me the most was how disconnected it all felt, almost as if the heart of the show had been ripped out. Can you guess by whom? Well, let me know, who do you blame for all these in the comments below. Regardless of your thoughts, though, I think we can all agree that Kevin Costner was the backbone of Yellowstone. From the very beginning, his portrayal of John Dutton just shouldered the series, in my opinion. He brought this gravitas that made everything feel real and grounded. So, inevitably, when he left, it was like the soul of Yellowstone went with him. Don't get me wrong, I don't say things got terrible because of Kevin Costner. But it is clear to me that this departure was not just about losing a lead actor, it was about losing the glue that held everything together. And in the end, I blame everyone who caused him to leave the series instead of picking up on Costner. The behind-the-scene rumors suggest that his departure wasn't just about scheduling conflicts. Apparently, there was a lot of tension behind the scenes, and creative differences with Sheridan played a huge role. And honestly, now that we got to see how the show has evolved without Costner, I kind of understand why he hated Sheridan's vision for the series so much. In fact, looking back, it's hard not to feel like Costner saw the writing on the wall. Do you sympathize with Costner for leaving the series, or do you still resent him for it? Let me know what you think in the comments. Supposedly, the final episodes of the series were meant to give John Dutton a proper send-off, but even that felt half-baked. Like, Sheridan could not even manage to properly write off a character from the series, and made us all question whether this man was ever a good writer in the first place, or were we all manipulated for years? Okay, the funeral scenes were emotional, sure, but they couldn't make up for the glaring gaps in the storytelling, in my opinion. Like, let's admit it, the rushed pacing didn't do justice to the legacy of the character or the show. And it's heartbreaking to think about what could have been if things had played out differently. If Costner had stayed, I can't help but wonder how the narrative would have evolved, because there is no way he would let the show go downhill to this level. But let me know what you think. Instead, Yellowstone's finale felt like a shadow of its former self. And I'm sorry if I offend some of you guys, but honestly, I can't talk about its downfall without bringing up Sheridan's role in all of this. Like, I try to give credit to him. I really do. But he doesn't provide me with a lot to work on. Like, despite criticism, there's no denying his talent. He's the creative force behind so many incredible shows. And all those shows cannot be a coincidence, right? But I think towards the end, Yellowstone became his Achilles heel. It's almost like he stretched himself too thin. Juggling multiple projects at once is no easy feat, and it felt like Yellowstone started taking a back seat in Sheridan's ever-so-creative mind. I couldn't help but notice how his character, Travis, kept popping up in ways that felt unnecessary. It felt indulgent, like Sheridan was prioritizing his personal stamp over the integrity of the show. I mean, am I the only one who thinks by the end of it, every single storyline felt disconnected from one another and the show has lost focus? Honestly, I miss the tight-knit focus of earlier seasons, where the Dutton family dynamics were front and center, and there was no doubt over it. But in the season finale, instead of this clarity, It felt like the show was trying to be too many things at once, and in doing so, it lost its identity. In fact, even characters like Beth and Rip felt sidelined by the chaos. And while I'm excited about their upcoming spin-off, it's hard not to feel like it's too little, too late. But let me know if you are excited for their sequel series or not. What hurts the most is how all of this could have been easily avoided. Like, yes, John Dutton was important, but to be frank, Costner's departure didn't have to spell doom for the series. It's clear that Sheridan struggled to correct the course and did not want to put the necessary work into saving the show's legacy. Instead, he wanted to take a revenge against Costner by ruining the series. It's almost ironic, isn't it? Sheridan's vision and storytelling brought Yellowstone to life, but it was his inability to adapt that ultimately led to its downfall. And through it all, even though Sheridan wanted to hurt him, I feel like Costner emerged as the ultimate winner. Like, in the end, he walked away with his reputation intact, and I can't help but respect him for it. It's almost like he knew when to step away, leaving us with memories of John Dutton at his peak. Do you think Yellowstone could have been saved if things had played out differently? Or was it doomed from the start? Let me know in the comments. For more weekly updates and analysis on the Yellowstone universe, make sure to like and follow. If you want to learn about the ultimate fate of Costner's passion project, Horizon, watch the video on the screen.